Hi, everybody. I'm Lucy, and this is how RTT has changed my life. In November of 2020, I had a medical situation with my daughter, and I rushed her to the hospital, and we were in the emergency room for about 7 hours. And after a lot of examination, the doctors sent us home. So in reality, they should have operated her on that day, but they chose not to. So 2 days later, we almost lost my daughter. In that moment when I realized that my daughter, when they brought her out of the surgery room and I saw her, she was on an artificial life at that moment. And I just realized that if I would have lost my daughter in that moment, I would have had insurmountable amounts of regret, just like something I couldn't live with for the rest of my life. And I especially realized that I was very disconnected from my own daughter, who I love so much. And the reason for that is because this is the way that I was living my life. There was no heart-centered relationships. Everything was very artificial. And my sense of value and validation just came from the size of my house, the bragging about my bank account, the model of car that I was driving. And not only that, I was suffering from depression. I was disconnected from my own children. I barely, I had nothing to give to them because I myself was so empty. And the way that this was manifesting in my life was that I was drinking a lot of alcohol. There came a point where I couldn't wait for the time of day when I got to have an alcoholic beverage. Another thing was I had asthma and I had eczema from the chronic stress and anxiety. So I started to kind of search, and a friend of mine told me about Marisa Peer. And she told me that she had watched a video on YouTube that talked about discovering your soul's calling. So what I did was I searched up an RTT therapist in Chicago, which is where I live. And I talked to her a little bit about my story, And so she told me, yes, I believe I could help you. So I did a session with her. She told me, what I want you to do is listen to this audio for 21 days, which was a lot like Marisa's audio on YouTube, about discovering your soul's purpose and going back to when you were a child, when you were 6 or 7 years old, and what you loved to do at that time. So I started doing this. She told me to do it for 21 days. I'll tell you what it's like now. I don't have asthma. I haven't had an asthma attack for about 9 months. The eczema is gone. I haven't had an eczema attack for a long time. I haven't had depression. It's not that I don't feel sad sometimes. Sometimes I feel sad, but it's very different from an inexplicable, out of control depression. So I'm not depressed anymore. I am connected to my kids. My kids now are homeschooled. They do a virtual classroom, so I get to spend a lot of time with them without leaving my work. And RTT is something that led me along that path to heal myself and to do that for my kids. So anyway, that's how I found RTT. I uncovered my unique soul's calling. And then I said, well, what would be better than to learn the modality which helped me? So I reached out to the RTT team. I had a conversation with an admissions officer, and I ended up signing up for the course. And I will tell you this, when I signed up for it, I was very apprehensive because, there's a lot of stuff online and you don't always know if it's real or, if it's true. So in the moment, I just took the step. It was kind of like a step of faith, I said, I'm going to take this 1 month at a time. I had no idea that it was going to be this expansive and this amazing, So yeah, I definitely had reservations, but that's how I navigated them. I navigated them by being present and allowing myself just to go one step at a time, just to navigate the risk one step at a time. When I started it, I didn't know what it was going to be like, but I can tell you it's been amazing. So yes, it has transformed my life. Also, I feel like RTT has nourished my gift as a person who has the ability to heal others, And it's been amazing. Right now I'm in Amsterdam at the in-person, live training, and I'm going to receive my diplomas here. It has given me a lot more than I would have hoped at the beginning, to be honest. And it's brought tremendous healing into my life, healing that I didn't even know that I needed. And yesterday I had a live therapy session with Marisa, which is a huge honor. I never even dreamed that I could have that. So to be able to have a session with her was tremendous. It was so, so beautiful. So now as an RTT therapist, I would say my greatest passion is to help people whose life looks like mine did 3 years ago. So what does that mean? People who have done very well financially, but who still have inexplicable sadness, depression, disconnection from their loved ones. To help people discover their soul's purpose, I've also worked with trauma recovery because I am so experienced. I have a roadmap to recover from trauma because that's what I've done. I also work with people who have money blocks because I realize that that's also a big need in the world. Yeah, so that's my passion. I am in love with this mission. And what I would say to anybody who's thinking about it is, please do it. Go ahead and do it. It is the tools that they teach you are amazing. The modality is amazing. And if you are like me, that you have a calling to heal and to help people, this is an amazing modality. It's going to expand your gift. It's going to give you a lot. And also it's going to put you in contact with some really beautiful people. So yeah, that's my story.